What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today's episode is going to be on debuff abuse. And the debuffs that we're talking about are Hunter's Mark and Weakness. These debuffs decrease the enemy's attack and delay the enemy at the same time. But the important part is that we're decreasing the enemy's attack. And you can actually get the enemy's attack all the way to 0. So Hunter's Mark is primarily found on Hunters. And you can get them on other classes too, even children. But it's based on the perception stat, so Hunters are your best bet using this skill. The Weakness skill is based on Wisdom, and it can be found on Witches, Scavengers, and some other classes as well. The main difference between the two is that Hunter's Mark has a stronger debuff, but it hits one enemy, whereas Weakness has a weaker debuff, but it can hit 2 enemies. It can also hit 2 clones of the same enemy. There are 2 key things about these 2 debuffs. First, they can be used in any challenge, physical, mental, or spiritual. And second, when you use a debuff on an enemy, that stat decrease persists through combat rounds. So they're really powerful for longer, drawn-out battles. In fact, they kind of rely on you being able to drag out a battle and survive until you can get the enemy's attack all the way to 0. And it doesn't take as long as you might think. So just taking a look at the tooltip here, you can see that there's a debuff multiplier of 2.0. It's actually going to be 0.2 times perception in the case of Hunter's Mark. So with the perception of 9 on this Hunter, we're getting a 1.8 stat decrease every time we use this on an enemy. And what you have to know is that every attack is based on a stat, but also has a damage multiplier. That's how it works for you with your weapons, but it works like that for the enemies as well. So if an enemy has 10 strength, for example, and using an attack with a multiplier of 2.0, then your debuff, if hypothetically you have a 2.0 debuff, then you'll actually be decreasing the damage by 4. So because you want to drag out battles, this strategy is especially powerful in conceptual challenges, because in conceptual challenges you don't take damage after the battle, you just have to win it, which means that every single villager that's not using Hunter's Mark or not dealing big damage can just be used as a meat shield. You can also get the Weakness skill on weapons. So to get it, you have to craft a 2-handed relic, and I'll show you how in design mode. The simplest way to do it is with iron and either leather or bones. Those are very, very easy to come by materials. But as you can see, the debuff multiplier is only 1.1. Again, it scales off the Wisdom stat, so it'll actually be 0.1 times your Wisdom. But remember, the Weakness skill can hit twice, whereas Hunter's Mark only hits once. The important part to be able to craft this recipe with Weakness on it is that the top essence has to be Fire Essence, actually Darkness Essence with the Enchanted Leather, and Sunlight Essence with Silver work as well. But in this way, you can get a reliable way to have multiple characters with the Weakness skill. However, these are not usable in conceptual challenges. So to use them effectively in actual battles, you once again need a way to draw out the battle without risking your characters dying or getting really injured. And the thing is, if you have strong enough summons to be able to tank the front line for you to use Weakness, then usually you might as well just put out big damage dealers in the back row instead of playing Weakness. There's one notable exception to this though, and that's some of the strongest enemies have really, really big attacks with splash damage. So in those cases, it's actually not safe for you to put out a back row. So next I'll show you some footage of this strategy in action. The footage is going to be from a very early game battle, but with tougher enemies. It's the same concept, you just have to make sure that you have more people to use as meat shields and more copies of characters with Hunter's Mark and Weakness. Are we going to win this? I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to win this, actually. I can't do this enough. 7 is too much. I didn't have enough Hunter's Mark to finish this. My Hunter's almost dead too. Zero. We did it. All right, but there's other guys, so it's still not good enough. Ouch. Nice. Man. We just still lose? I think we still lose. $8.2, yes. This is fine. Maybe. Did I do the math right? I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, such a good hunter. Such a good hunter. I think I have to highlight this battle. That was just so close. Oh, Hunter's so good. Hunter's Mark and Weakness are so good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. I have some other YouTube videos planned already, but if you have any specific content that you'd like to see, also let me know. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.